Hey guys, this is probably one of the hardest videos that I've had to make this year, but I wanted to speak about my divorce with my wife and how someone who was after my family destroyed my family through the means of AI, fabricating lies about my family and myself, telling my wife and sending messages saying to her that I was involved in some kind of relationship outside of marriage, and fortunately there was no way in which I could defend myself because the proof was there, and every single detail that I'm going to share with you guys is basically how I ended up in this every single detail that I'm going to share with you guys is exactly how I ended up in this situation. And I just wanted to share this to raise awareness and say that AI is definitely evolving, and it's definitely after people like myself, a well established man who's done so well with his life. And I can't begin to say just how devastating it is. For the past few weeks, I've battled and battled and tried to redeem myself, but my family has distanced himself away from me. My wife took the kids away, and we were such a great unit. And unfortunately, to say the least, I just hope I can make it through this video. So I'll take you back from the beginning how it all started. So guys, as you can see, this is particularly a scenario or a video of what we would expect in the next coming years, months even. And to be quite honest, I think in the next few weeks, depending on how things go. This video is just me trying to raise awareness. Since the beginning of 2016, I've been dabbling with AI, trying to understand, learning more about AI, trying to improve my skills in AI. As somebody who works in IT with an IT background, I've had an interest with AI, and all sorts of AI, that is artificial intelligence for those who don't know. And I've been doing research on most of these new developments that are coming out. Maybe in the near future, I'll be sharing more and more interesting videos of what AI is about. But my current project that I'm working on is to raise awareness with AI, and this particular project I call the family case because it is something that's very interesting. When I recently posted a very interesting video. Okay, I recently posted a picture on New Year's Eve posing to having a family, which I'm gonna post right up here for those who would like to see it. So this image basically is a AI generated image of myself, which I took on my birthday. The picture was taken when I was standing by myself, and eventually I had this idea because I kept seeing it on and on within the IT community, guys playing around with AI, basically auto-generating images of themselves with somebody standing next to someone or playing. Like, I took my image of myself and I basically went to one of the well-known AI generated images. I don't really want to share it here too openly. I want people to do their own research and find out these things. But what I did was I then created a prompt that I asked the AI to generate myself standing next to a woman holding a child. And what the AI did was, my first prompt was me asking the AI to put me next to a child with a girl, right? So the first prompt came out not the way I wanted it to come out, but still came out very accurate if I had chosen that prompt. The AI generated myself with a baby and a girl, a small girl next to me, which is the image right here. Now, that wasn't what I was looking for, but nevertheless, people would still look at that image and think it's real when it's AI generated. I then requested the AI to change the young girl and turn them into an older woman, and position her to give me a kiss on the cheek, which looked like she was my wife or my partner. And the AI did that, and what I did then was I took that picture, I posted it on the eve of New Year 2026, and I said, "Happy New Year from me and my family, and we wish you all the best." And then I literally put there at the bottom of the caption saying, "The 2026 is the year where you do your research. Don't just believe everything that you see." But to my surprise, I was very shocked when I saw people coming back to me asking and literally congratulating me. They didn't know I had a child. They didn't know I was married already. They didn't know. And these are people that know me, which I find it funny. But out of this whole experiment, something scary popped out of my mind, and I realized we are in huge trouble. And these are what we as Christians call inventions of evil, right? And it prompted me to start working on small project and wanting to educate more people about this, because the scene that I played out in the beginning of this video is not a real story. I am not married. I don't have a wife. I don't have any kids. I don't have that much money or whatsoever. Everything that I role played in the beginning was just me role playing to give you guys a scenario. Now picture that being you or your wife, your husband, your friend that you know very close or you're close with, your business partner, your boss, whatever, right? Let's assume this is the state in which we are reaching at, where AI, as good of a tool that it is, becomes a tool that's used for bad, used in a negative form. What would happen? I foresee that, and this is not me prophesying, but this is me just calling out the future of where we are heading to. Knowing the human nature, that's exactly where AI is going to lead us to, where stories are going to be made up about people. Stories are going to be made up about husbands and wives, and marriages are going to be broken up because people are going to lose trust. There will be a lack of honesty and loyalty, not in the people, but in the way in which this tool will be operated. I'm very fond of technology. I love technology. That's why I took IT as a career. I chose it because I love computers. I love what AI can do for us. I love that I am able to type a small message and send it through, and it goes and it communicates my thoughts and my ideas. I love writing so much. I love sharing ideas. But the way I see it right now, for example, this image right here, which is generated, it looks like I'm doing something funky, or an image of me maybe where my face is being used in a video that I'm not really very fond of, or maybe making, if you guys get me. Corn videos, for example, where an image of me is generated to say stuff that I'm not really fond of saying, or I don't say, or I don't speak. That's exactly where we're going to. And most people are going to be deceived by what they're going to be seeing. The same way in which people were deceived by the idea that I was married, I had a child, and I mean, it's a beautiful image, to be quite honest. I still look at it, I'm like, wow, God, I would love this. But it's not real. And that's how deceitful and how bad things has become with technology. Picture that whole scenario that I've just played in the beginning and use that in your own advantage. Educate yourself about the things you see online and what you hear, because the next video that I would like to share is a video about how I believe AI is going to be used to fool people. There is a particular story that happened where a young lady was contacted by her mother, who was requesting information which she thought she was passing it over to her mom, but there was no way in which she could authenticate that whole communication. So basically the communication between her and the mother on the other line, there was no way in which she could prove that that was not her mother, because she heard the voice, she spoke like a mom, she did everything. So basically this girl handed over information that were private to someone who was using her mom's voice. The deepfakes. Now deepfakes are not new. There's videos online about it that basically are shared around, where people are using celebrity faces, posing to be celebrities, asking people for money and trying to scam them, etc., etc. The rate at which this whole technology has developed, it's become so dangerous to the point where you can't deny that this is not real. There are still small details that I do believe, even when I look back at the image that I generated, you will notice there are particular details that you would have to look very closely to try and make out what exactly is in the image. But you'd have to be very careful, because some of the details are not going to make sense. But right now, I just want to raise this awareness. The story that I played out in the beginning is going to become the reality for most men and women. And I don't want that to be the case. I would like people to save themselves from this kind of situation. Save themselves from issues like this. Marriages are destroyed because of AI, because the usage of AI was used in a bad, or was in fact in the wrong hands. And unfortunately, that's how it's going to be. It's going to fall in the wrong hands. People who have bad intentions, bad spirits, just want to destroy, will use it, unfortunately. And that's just the way it's going to be. There's nothing that can change that. But what can we do as individuals in our own households? I think, first of all, is self-education, educating ourselves of what is real and what is not. So if you guys didn't take note, the images that I posted on my Instagram page, anyone who would have known the AI logo on the bottom right corner, they would have immediately pointed out that this is AI generated. Levi is not married, he doesn't have a kid, he's not, doesn't have a kid, or that, nor does he have a wife. But a lot of people missed that. And those are the small details that you're going to be missing out quite a lot if you jump quickly to conclusion. Take your time and observe an image before you jump to the conclusion that this is real. For example, if you look at the lady's hand that I was holding in the picture, her hand was on my chest, but you would have noticed that her hand was very short and her fingers were literally showing as if her hand was cut out. That is AI. Again, I'm not saying these are details that are always going to be there, because AI is still developing. We are going to get to a point where it's going to develop to a point where, in fact, right now speaking, 2026, the year of our Lord, it's going to be so bad, it will be so difficult to notice the small details. And that's what I'm afraid of. I just wanted to share this and bring up awareness on this. I hope this has helped enlighten you in seeing AI in a different way. No one is protected from this. We are all vulnerable and we're all going to be victim in some kind of way. And I just hope, so help me God, when that day comes, people know exactly what to do. This is not for me to scare you. This is for me to educate you. Like I said again, I love AI. I love technology. I love what technology has done for us and where it has brought us. But in most cases, just like everything else, there's always a good and a bad. And it's up to you, the individual, to believe what you want to believe. Stay in touch with the latest. All right. Peace out.